I guess we'll just see who's stuck around in my absence, right? Did you drive away all our fans? Is that what happened?
Pretty much. They're all revolting.
They were like cautious, I'm out.
I'm out. No one to check your bullshit. Look at this.
I am not alive, DFW computer gamers. I am actually dead. Undead. Made a deal. We just have to find my Horcrux.
Horcrux. Yeah.
The Horcrux. Phylactery is the old school term for it, right? What's up? I don't actually know who DFW computer gamers is. That's how long.
Brandon.
Brandon. Is it Brandon? All right, there we go.
Rolls, welcome. I see.
Wow, Rolls, thank you. 2 years. 2 years.
2 years.
And this crappy video score. Look at this. Who are all these people? I love it.
They're people. I flipped the switch over to Twitch, so like it's Twitch or nothing at this point. It's not.
Oh, so we're not streaming on the Facebooks anymore. So no more replies from my mom.
Yeah. No, actually,
she joined Twitch.
She can hop on Twitch, or she can see it on. I do have it still going on YouTube as well.
All right, I'll let her know.
But I warned everybody. The problem is Facebook is there was delays.
After the third Tuesday where I was gone, she did text me and was like, "Hey, what's going on? You haven't been on the show in a bit. Are you alive? What's happening?" So even my mom noticed my absence. So there you go.
I love it.
What's up, Dan? Thanks for jumping on. Has been a bit. Welcome to 2023.
Yeah, where the prizes have doubled, right?
Prizes have doubled. The viruses potentially could triple, and the news continues to be
what viruses?
It continues to be awful. Crappy Video Store. It is hilarious to say Facebook has no ads. That is.
I wish the Facebook. I wish Facebook didn't worked better. I think the biggest problem I had with Facebook streaming there was people would connect and like it would lose that connection, and then you'd get to like the Facebook user, and there was also according to other people, there's like a minute delay or like a good 30-40 second delay in the stream on Facebook.
Is it that long? I didn't know it was
pretty long. It's like 30 plus seconds. So
I knew Twitch was like 5 seconds or 10 seconds, like a long time.
Yeah, see, Dan is pretty much the delay is so bad on Facebook. Yeah, and it's to do with the like weird sensory delay, I think is what it is. You got someone watching us probably like on a monitor, making sure no one like whips it out or like kills someone or something, and then they like block it before it comes out. So it's
that's how awful that job is.
I know, right?
None of this content interests me. Like,
oh man,
30 seconds. That's for like algorithms to recognize penises, right?
Right.
They have to like what is it? That pictogram you have to do whenever you verify your identity, right?
Have you seen those newer versions of the CAPTCHas?
No,
they're like
I haven't been on the internet in a month. Everyone, I have forgotten all of the words. I have forgotten.
I recently joined a forum, and they had a new version of a CAPTCHA, and it was a slider, and it had a pile of pictures, and it had like fish, plant, car, and you had to grab the pictures and sort them in like piles. It was absolutely wild. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. This is. I also, felt like
a robot can't do that.
Apparently not. I mean, we have AI algorithms that can like make a better fish than some of the pictures.
A robot can't do that.
I don't know.
Hey, thanks for jumping on, Emu Chicken. Happy New Year to you as well.
Oh, well, Emu Chicken. Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Rose, I'm going to be talking about forums a little bit on this episode because there's definitely a dive that over this holiday break, there's been some new knowledge added to this stupid brain of mine, and forums are the only place that I could find some of that information. So,
like Reddit, or
no, like
Metafilter, deep cuts.
No, like BB, like what is it? bbcode.com/ what is it? Like bulletin board forums.
www.
Yeah, like straight up, like join the forum and hit your register link, and like you can't have like a Hotmail account because it won't get you. That kind of crap.
Let's talk about that shit. Let's go back. Let's roll the credits.
Let's roll these credits. Right? Let's kick it off. 2023 is here. Episode 200, everyone. We're here. We're live. Let's go. Welcome to 2023, the Mid-Geek Crisis, episode 200. This is the episode. I've been holding back on this episode. I didn't want to do it by myself.
Yeah.
I resurrected Cautious. That's why his color's a little pale. I got the filter on for live, but in reality, he's a little blue. So,
is it? Yeah, too much reflection. I think. I need to figure all that stuff out. It's too much. It's good to be back, everyone. It was a much needed break. In general. The holidays are always a drag. The winters in Syracuse are immediately a drag. It's sort of surprising how dark it got so quickly,
Yeah, how I know that the last time you were on the show was
like before Thanksgiving, give or take?
Yeah, before Thanksgiving, you had mentioned that you hadn't even gotten snow yet. And then I think it right after we logged off, I think snow hit you guys, right?
Yeah. Well, Syracuse got we've gotten light dustings and some severe cold, but Buffalo has definitely had a really tough last 2 months. Right?
Yeah, they got hit with the big one first.
Weeks, yeah, huge
and
amount.
Then they got hit with another blizzard, which was interesting because I was reading the articles on how they were stating that Buffalo can handle usually that snow, but it had a lot to do with timing, right?
Yeah.
It was a timing scenario. The temperature drop was so quick, and it was on a Friday afternoon. People were still stuck at work. The holidays were coming, people were traveling, people were still wanting to go shopping. It was a crucial paycheck before the holidays as well, so people had to go out and do this shopping, and so they got stuck. And so it was a record death toll in Buffalo, which never happens. Plus,
everyone's sort of used to the snow, so they're it's just another storm. It's Buffalo, right? We know what to do with this. And
they're eat a couple wings, put some hot sauce on it, you'll be fine.
And now with the media hype and the way the media news cycle is, every chance for snow is the snowpocalypse 2000 whatever, right? It's always Snowgate 5000 that's going to destroy everything. So they just hype you up way too much.
Right.
And look at this guy playing EverQuest. What?
Yeah, man. He's in our Discord, and you'll see occasionally on the right hand side what game he's playing, and you'll see EQ up there.
He's got the deep cuts of EQ.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I can't believe those servers are still up.
It says playing EverQuest right now in our Discord. By the way, if you're not aware, we do have a Discord channel. Go check us out.
I have been on the Discord channel a few times.
It is quiet in there. Just a heads up for anyone who's in there. I do have notifications turned off by default, server wide. I did it on purpose because I am part of a bunch of Discords, and there's a few of them out there that as soon as I join, I get hit with every message from every channel, and it is annoying having to go in there and having to turn off or mute the whole server, which I don't want to do, because then what ends up happening is I don't join the conversation.
Right.
And what I have done is I have gone in and I've turned on for some of the servers that I follow is anytime I get mentioned. So if you mention me, I'm going to get a notification. You're welcome to turn on, for example, notifications on specific channels if you want to. Also, if you also noticed, there's some bots in there. It is annoying that I put them in there, but at the same time, it keeps the conversation going on some of those channels. For example, I do have a TV and movie channel in there. And I've only added one particular account in there that's constantly aggregating new media news.
New media stuff?
Modern gaming is getting modern gaming news. Tech is getting The Verge and 9 to 5 Google and 9 to 5 Mac.
So it's nice to hear you did that, because what I thought when you set up that Discord chat and you added all those Twitter accounts is you said to yourself, Cautious thinks he can escape from Twitter?
Yeah.
The fool.
Well, so it was partially that. So the idea was this is like, you're right. Twitter's a hot mess, right?
It's a hot mess. It is a disaster.
Your best way to put it. Did you know Elon Musk bought Twitter? So it's a shit show, right? But at the same time, I have found Twitter is kind of the modern RSS feed for a lot of us. It is kind of one of those places where if we follow certain accounts, we're getting aggregation. But you don't want to be on Twitter, so I mean, if you're in Discord and you're in a specific topic, I added a bot in there to just give you a specific.
The tabletop stuff is pretty cool, and the other stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah. So again, if you go and check out the gaming deals one, I added 2 of the big Twitter accounts that push out deals, and of course during the holidays it was slammed because it was like deal after deal after deal after deal, and you can mute those accounts as well, like mute them, like so that you don't hear them, so you can mute specific accounts as well.
Yep.
But it's something, right? It just adds. So if you hop into the movie and TV channel and you see a piece of news, it's a conversation starter. And one of the nice things about Discord, if you haven't played around with it now, is you can tap on a news story or whatever, or someone that's something wrote, and start a thread. And essentially it breaks it out into like a sub channel within the channel where you can just chat about that.
Amazing.
It's gotten pretty cool.
Discord. No, I so far I think it's been great. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, so everyone go check it out. Go to themidgeekcrisis.com. You'll see the Discord link there. Go click on it, join the channel, hop in, tag me, whatever. If you have suggestions for more channels, please feel free. There are even forum at the bottom left. So at the bottom left of the project section, you can create what's called a forum post, which essentially allows you to create a topic, and then it just breaks out where it's nothing but a forum, like within that one chat. It's pretty neat. So for example, I've got projects set up.
So it's like an old school one,
right? So there's one in there called community projects, and so I just created
we have
one
a
of my
Simon and Garfunkel channel only with Mid-Journey AI created images.
Only with Mid-Journey AI created images, or but we need a Hall & Oates one first. You can't have Simon and Garfunkel before Hall & Oates, right? Like,
what if it just winds up being someone and someone channels? We just wind up with dozens of those channels.
All I heard was tag Jonah. Yeah, by all means, but I'm lonely. Talk to me. I'm here. But yeah, so here we are, 2023. How was your holiday, man? I know you took a big break and you've been off of social media. How was the family time? How was the gift giving? How was the warm and fuzzies?
Was awesome. Gift giving.
Did your heart grow 3 times?
Did my heart grow 3 times? No, it beat it twice though. It hurt actually. Having all that blood pushed through my veins.
That's fair.
No, it was a great holiday. As always, Christmas now is about the kids, but my wife got me some glorious gifts. Mainly some Austrians for my Waterloo set, which is hilarious because the Austrians didn't actually fight in Waterloo, which I discovered afterwards. I'm not doing a very good job with this Napoleonic stuff, but I've got a lot of miniatures.
The orcs keep showing up in this set. I don't know how.
Orcs keep showing up in the set. It's ridiculous. And then we bought my daughter a big out-of-print Calico Critters mansion that she saw online. It's taken me about 10 months to find it at the price I wanted to pay because, there's always these like speculators who buy it
and collectors and whatever.
So I found it, and it was just gorgeous, and now she has it set up. I built her a little table with some shelves so she can play with it at the right level, and we had that awesome moment where the kid's like, can I open the big box first? And I'm like, no, the big box is last. And like, it just, it just sort of kept going. My favorite thing about Christmas is that she does this, like, she now does it every year. It's been 3 years in a row since she sort of wear it. She takes a break from opening all her gifts and she'll read like 3 or 4 graphic novels. Like she'll just sit there from like 12 to 2 and read. And then at 2 o'clock, she's like, round 2, let's open more gifts. Right. Like, it's
man,
not,
you've got a good, you've taught them well.
Yeah. And then we played video games. We've been crushing Skywalker Saga. Like she just.
Yeah. So you had mentioned that you were playing the Lego Skywalker Saga. How you liking that? So that's if for anyone from familiar, it is kind of, I wouldn't say remake. It's almost like a whole new set of games.
It is the best Star Wars game I've played ever.
Yeah.
Hands down, the best Star Wars game ever. It presents a love of Star Wars that is unstoppable. It edits all of the movies down to their salient good points. Like even my kid enjoyed them, right? Like, in fact, we went back and watched episode 1, 2, and 3 just to remind us of what was going on. And she found them to be intolerable, but also enjoyed them. Right? It was great. She was like, "Does this happen in the Lego thing?" I'm like, "No." We go back and forth. It was great fun.
Emu, go
Oh,
ahead and check that one out. Check out the Skyward, the
it's brand
Skywalker
new.
Saga.
It's all new.
It's brand new. It came out this past year. It is on Game Pass. It's pretty cheap on Steam sometimes. Etc. But the idea here is it's the Lego Star Wars games, but even like they've been redone completely in kind of like they just took what's called the Skywalker Saga. So it's the original trilogy and then the new ones, right? And so it's everything. It's all prequel through sequels, right?
Yeah,
prequel so it's all of them in just one big story. But they redid a lot of the gameplay. If you're familiar playing with the older the Lego games where the screen would split and would do the craziness and whatnot, they have fixed all of that. It is just it's a whole new developer, but kind of a new take on the entire Lego trilogy. The Lego
clean graphics. The puzzles are, I don't want to say simple, but they're cleaner. They're just
I remember playing like one of the Batman Legos, and you just don't know what to do. You're running around.
You wind up pixel hunting for 10 hours, and then you're like, I give up on this garbage, right?
Yeah, or you look it up. You break one like rat that runs by, and that fixes it. And like, what's going on? Yeah,
there's like one or two puzzles like that if you're trying to get all the collectibles, which there are trillions.
Yeah.
And I will say that if you're the kind of person who likes to score achievements, and train your kid to enjoy collecting achievements, this is the perfect game because she's like solving puzzles to collect every single object to collect all achievements. So it's been a lot of fun playing with her. We usually play all holiday. We just played 20-30 minutes a day, a couple easy quick levels, and went on with our lives. It was great. I recommend it. Yeah.
That's great. Good co-op game.
It reinvigorated my love of Star Wars, right? If you talk about my heart growing one size bigger, I was like, man, I really enjoy this like beautiful take on Star Wars, separate from all the hate, separate from all the nonsense.
How were the sequel parts?
Good. I mean, simple. They edit out all the fluff. Like it's just, this is a cool battle. This is a cool scene. This is a cool battle. Even the casino part was fun. It just makes fun of
they still have a casino part in it.
Even the casino part's like, yeah, except you're trying to find the code breaker.
Yeah.
And like you find the code breaker, you're immediately arrested. Like these Lego guys show up and like, you parked poorly, you're under arrest. And it's such a ludicrous plot statement, right? They did get arrested for parking.
Yeah.
Like imagine your epic superhero story, you're trying to save the rebellion and you're arrested for parking. Like what is this? The Good Place? Like it's trash. That is a terrible. And then Star Wars made fun of it. It was really good.
Yeah, so Dan, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Lego games, they started off like that, and the puzzles that were infuriatingly hard in a stupid way. And you're right, you would always get stuck on something like you're trying to open up a door to kind of move on, but the game that gives you no direction, all it would do was kind of do that like whoosh glow thing where it would glow in an area, but you don't know what to do. You're like hitting things, breaking stuff, and then you're like picking the wrong piece up and
pixel hunting.
But I think this take of the game is better. Like they've really cleaned all that up. So that's what I've heard. I haven't played it myself, but I've heard good things.
There's also, I mean, I don't want to talk about this game forever, but there also appears to be a timer or some sort of internal timer that switches to easy mode. Like eventually, like an arrow points to an object to give you a hint. Like something occurs where you're like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go. And then something will appear there to direct you in the direction you want to go. And it helps a lot.
That's cool. No, that's the way it should be, especially if you're playing with a kid who wants to just keep going and then you're like stuck and the kid goes, this is dumb, and puts the controller down. You're like, I got to keep their attention going.
Got to keep their attention, and it works out great. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun just connecting with her on that level, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Building her dollhouse and I should say furnishing her dollhouse, which is so big she's declared it a hotel, so she's furnishing it as if it's a hotel.
Fair. She's already business. She's already creating a business, an Airbnb. She's got a website up.
That'd be good. It'd be good if we can get a bunch of rabbits to pay their bills. That'd be
awesome. Did you ever try Rebellion and Supremacy on the PC? Apparently, it's been converted to a board game.
No, but I've seen Star Wars Rebellion as a board game. I didn't realize that was originally a computer game. That's interesting.
Huh.
That was like a territory resource control game, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
maybe I should. I thought Rebellion was just a reskin of some other game that they just put Star Wars on the label too.
That tends to happen a lot too.
PC game. No, I have not tried it. I might have to look it up.
Well, in your absence, we had. Let's see here. There was a couple of episodes where it was just chill, And then we also did the awards show, which was kind of a mess, but it was fun. As I've mentioned,
was it a mess because it wasn't for you? Were you like, man, this is the Mid-Geek crisis. This is no longer for me. This is for younger
people. It wasn't even that. Like, I mentioned before, and I mentioned it in a previous episode, that I think this was the best episode or the best version of the award show that we've had in years. It was still ludicrously long, and it's still a giant advertisement, and it's really not about the awards. The awards are really an afterthought. Not only is it an afterthought, again, many of the awards were given to a game that came out like 7 days before the nominations went up, which was God of War, which, again, no hate on the game. It's fantastic, but it just seems a little bot, a little, little skewed, a little whatever. All that in mind, all it was another E3. It is now the, hey, by the way, here are the previews for games coming out next year. Games that are coming out in a year and a half from now.
A year and a half? That's a long time.
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 games that were like 2024, and you're like, okay, I guess this is one way to put it up on
qualifying for the 2023 Video Game Awards, right? Though.
Yeah, apparently, right. That's exactly it. It just it's interesting. Again,
I like how Rabbi Bill Gates. No, wait, no. Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Rabbi Bill Gates. Yeah, that was a strange one. If anyone remembers that was the last line of the award show. A kiddo, an awful troll, internet troll, actually, snuck up. Right, he got up in the show and walked up with them. So like when they were announcing who won, he was just in the mix, and no one questioned it because they were like, oh, maybe this guy works here, whatever. And then at the end, after everything was said and done, he walked up to the mic and he's like, I also want to thank, my Rabbi Bill Clinton or whatever. And just,
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was no, he's not. Brandon, that's the point. He's not just a goofy kid. He's done this stuff before. He's got an agenda. The dude is trash.
Is he a Logan Paul, a Paul Logan type
guy? He's a little bit of an Andrew Tate follower /
No!
Yeah, he's that kind of dude. He's just a jerk. Yeah, he's like in his 20s, and I watched an interview with him right after that, them questioning it, and he was there were women on the panel, and I mean, like, this dude was like, he wouldn't look at them because he's like, I don't respect you. Like, here's a 20-year-old, like, other women on the panel that invite him on the show, and he's like, I don't want to address you because I don't respect you.
I will say that as a young lad,
yeah,
while I think on the whole I was better than most, I wasn't the most pleasant dude to the ladies, I will say. Like, if I'm honest, right, I was young and dumb as well. And I'm thankful that I didn't have a Twitch channel to be young and dumb on. Right. Followers are the same as Greta followers.
I mean, on the polar opposite side, sure. But, one doesn't get taken down by a pizza, right?
Dude, so it's early in the year, but greatest cell phone of the year, I think. I mean, like, Elon Musk is the greatest cell phone of 2022.
Of course, everyone's like, no, after that story hit, everyone was like, no, it wasn't the pizza. But like, people were like, they already knew he was in Romania. For anyone who's not following the story, the original story was like, Andrew Tate posted up this like ludicrous video about his like 18 cars and his like Bugattis and all this stuff and how they guzzle gas and whatever else maybe.
It was the dumbest thing ever.
It was the dumbest thing ever. Like, this guy's like, I can't even comprehend how anyone thought anything he says that comes out of his mouth is like cool, but whatever. And then Greta replied back with like, hey, small dick energy at, he just owned him, and like everyone just like loved it. Like, everyone was like, oh my God, this is absolutely ridiculous and awesome. So being the alpha that he is, right, he had to reply. And not only did he reply, he replied in the most cringy video I've ever seen. Like, dude in like a robe and a cigar and just I couldn't believe
that cigar and takeout pizza.
Yeah, and so he orders takeout pizza.
To me, screams alpha male to me.
Yeah, so he orders this takeout pizza, right? And of course, he puts it on camera and he's eating it. And the camera, of course, as soon as you see that, you see where the pizza's from. And apparently, that, from what I understanding, is the authorities already knew he was there, but they needed to know exactly a time and a place to be able to like pinpoint him. They didn't want to rally or send efforts or whatever. And so as soon as they noticed that, they knew where he was, they
Like-
triangulated where he was. And, that said, though, I don't think the pizza box was it. It wasn't the smoking gun, but it's definitely a good narrative. I think
it's a good narrative, and we all love a good narrative on the Twitter sphere. And yeah, Ditch That Witch, thanks for jumping on. I'm old and dumb as well. I didn't actually know who Andrew Tate was until I saw the link from Adam, who sent it to me because I don't follow Twitter anymore. Everybody, stop sending me links. But, but there we go.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, whatever your side of it is, whatever Greta is doing or whatever she does is whether neither here nor there. It's not but I think she's a young woman with a voice, and whatever the case may be, I really don't enjoy anyone attacking her.
So isn't she for the environment?
Yeah.
So on one side we have someone who's for the environment, and on the other side we have a MRA D-bag.
Yeah.
And we're deciding which side we want to sit on.
Right.
All right. I mean, to each their own, but it's clear to me which side you want to sit on.
Yeah, right. Also, she's a woman that's like, she has autism, and she's like, there's definitely some like things, but she's low hanging fruit, and everyone likes to attack, and of course, there's just awfulness involved. Because the internet.
I mean, like it's also no such thing as bad press, right? If you attack someone like Greta, there's going to be a response. And the whole Andrew Tate business model, and I think someone meant, where does all the funding come from? It's advertising, right? It's the algorithm that's going to kill us, right? Emo, the algorithm's out to get us. Everyone's worried about AI. It's the algorithm that's killing us.
Well, the algorithm feeds the AI, right?
The algorithm feeds the AI, and everyone's making money off the algorithm. They don't care about the repercussions of it, right? It's basically just dumping pollution in the water all day long until we're all.
That's an excellent point to take, because it's virtual pollution, right? It's not even virtual because it does have physical ramifications. It's God, what do we call that? Is it like social toxic runoff? What's a good term for it?
Toxic runoff. It's not bad. I mean, I have to think about it. I mean, social runoff. You don't have to say the toxic part, right? You could just say social runoff.
Social runoff. I think it's a byproduct. It's all a byproduct. It's a social. That's a good. We're coining it here, folks. We heard it here first. Social runoff. I think it's the best way to put it, because it's exactly that. No matter what you do online, even this show right now, as it's being streamed on Twitch, there are algorithms that are listening to my words that will add closed captioning, right? Mm-hmm. Which means that they know the words that I'm saying, which means that they can document it. It's being put in print, in text form, which means that they can search for anything I say in this show. I could say a brand, I could say Little Caesars, and all of a sudden, boom, we're gonna get Little Caesars ads. Like, that's the way it works. So, social, trickle down seems too tame, because it's 100% runoff from the factory. We are just pumping out content for the machine, and the runoff is what feeds it, and then it goes through. It's a mess. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why you have kind of chosen not to like feed it much, right? You've hopped off Twitter.
Yeah, I've hopped off Twitter. I'm off everything on my phone except for Facebook, and Facebook is going away February 1st. And I'm just going to do Facebook on this computer from now on, right? So now I have to actually make the effort to come on.
So have you tried maybe, like, even if you don't want to, like, so you don't even feed it there, maybe use a VPN and like kind of tunnel through that to turn on?
I think my approach is more, tunnel through VPN just to provide Facebook no information. Actually, that might be a better approach, but really it's for me not to be distracted by it, right? If I have to come downstairs and sit here, I want to make sure my interactions with my friends on Facebook are meaningful, as opposed to just, what I get caught by every so often. I get caught by like reels on the stupid Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. I snooze it for 30 days. 30 days later, I get bombed. 30 minutes after it pops back up again, I'm like, oh, these are stupid. These are stupid. What time is it? Right. I just realized that my brain got sucked in, and I try to get out of there. So anyway, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff to sort of reduce and make my use of social media deliberate, make it my tool, as opposed to just feeding the algorithm, just dumping stuff into the ocean.
That's fair.
Yeah, so
that's fair. That's fair.
Dan says, Cassius, mind blown. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's 100% a thing.
It drags me down. Folks can deal with it. Some folks will do better with it. If I found that it impacts, how like I make fun of you sometimes for getting emotionally upset when your Texans lose a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I sit here and I go, what? They're not playing for you. They're playing for money for billionaires who make more money, right? In my mind, it makes no sense to be emotionally invested. I am impacted. Oh yeah, exactly. This is
And
true.
you know what? NordVPN is not paying for this. This is not a sponsored ad. What the heck?
Well, maybe we will get some
We need
sponsored
to get
ads.
that money. What's going
But
on?
I get
2023, baby,
emotionally
monetize.
impacted by social media, right? It drags me down. So I realize that some folks are different that way. But yeah.
You know, it's so here's an interesting take, and this is you. I'm on the opposite side, right? Like I'm feeding the machine constantly. It's just because, and again, for those for those outside of my background or don't know my background, I was into computer security. I used to go to DEF CON every year for many years. This is pre smartphone, honestly. Like the last phone I walked into DEF CON with was like a Windows mobile phone with Wi-Fi turned off. Why would you walk
into DEF CON with the smartphone? That would be.
Yeah, well, I mean, they weren't out. Like it was pre iPhone, pre Android phone. Even the G1, the original Android phone wasn't there, and the social media aspect of was still forums, still like the early days of Twitter, maybe, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was just this. I don't know what it's like now, but I know that if a company wants your information or whatever, they're going to get it. I have fed enough of my early youth into the internet that it doesn't take much to find anything about me. Like I haven't changed much when it comes down to like
pictures of you that forever.
Oh yeah, you've got them. You've got them. Everyone's got them, man. I think the biggest issue here is that I'm on the opposite side of that, and I'm seeing some interesting. This is just coming back to that comment right here. This particular comment in general. I have Instagram and I have Facebook, and they're both owned by the same person. You know, they're both Zuck. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting about the Facebook ones is that the reels on Instagram are tailored to actually my likes. Like the things that I like and I follow and the people that I follow do get aggregated. And so if I just hit the reels button and I just scroll and watch, you know, funny videos or whatever, it's all like, it's dogs, it's like food, it's like, you know,
it's carefully curated.
It's curated to the stuff that I enjoy. Fine. The Facebook ones are absolutely like not anywhere near anything. And I have found that there is no way whatsoever to curate those. I get weird, catch all videos, like things
they're trap videos.
It just like for example, like there's apparently a trend of like what you didn't know, what they're not telling you, and it's just like a guy sticking his finger in water and like like tapping a mirror, and they're like, what? And then you watch it, and then you're like, huh? And then it plays like 4 times in a row, which gives them tons of views. But you're like, what just happened? What is this video? What is this nonsense? Or you get the random laugh track with like a really bad like Chinese skit that's like either super sexist or super like racist or whatever, and then you're like
feeding the algorithm.
Or I get random gun videos, people like reloading like semi-automatics and stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't want that, and I hide it, and then it comes back. I just can't seem to figure out what's feeding those, and I hate the Facebook Reels. I can always tell. Like I might end up clicking one, and then all of a sudden I don't remember what app I'm in. I'm like, wait, no, this is Facebook Reels, and I'm like,
Facebook Reels. I've been fooled.
Out of here.
Nearly bamboozled. And yeah, Ditch That Witch says guns.
Texas. No, you're right. It's probably like it knows I'm in Texas. I was like, guns. Here you go.
Thanks for mentioning that. You just earned 5 more gun videos.
Yeah, apparently. Oh God, gotta feed the machine, man. Gotta feed the machine. At this point, I am the consumer, right? I am the battery. I am the Duracell. So like,
no, I'm trying to disconnect slightly from the machine or make the machine work for me. I get a lot of Napoleonic miniature advertisements on Facebook now.
Oh, I bet. I can only imagine. So let's. I'm going to talk a little bit about random stuff again. This week is weird. There's not much news out there. Even trying to talk about news, it's a lot of early year news. I mean, outside of like the random deaths that we've had and the just random like celebrity news or whatever. Like for example, was it a couple days ago? Jeremy Renner, right? We had the whole
Jeremy snowplow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
pretty bad.
So from my understanding, what I'm reading is he actually like hopped off to like help someone. Has anyone read that? Like
he hopped off to help someone and got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's probably the most ideal way to hurt yourself. I
guess. Yeah. So apparently, if Evangel Lilly, what is that her name? Evangelina Lilly, the Wasp, the actress who plays the Wasp.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, she had posted a picture of her and him and whatever, and stated what had happened. Like, I think she might know. She's mentioned something like only Jeremy Renner would have gotten hurt actually saving someone through a snowplow and whatever. And then of course after she posted that, like 2 hours, like an hour later after she posted that, he posted up a selfie. So he's up and alive, but he's beat up. Like his whole entire face on his left side is like all bruised up.
Like he flipped his snowplow, right? That's like a real dangerous thing to like.
Apparently, it was like a big like snowplow looking thing, and I don't know if it was his. Like I don't know the story. If anyone has read anything on it, what happened?
So DFW Computer says he was clearing a neighbor's driveway and got hurt somehow, had a wreck or something.
There's a lot of like misconception of what's happening, but
he has a major snowplow. It's super industrial. And where is he? Like Montana? Does he need a major snowplow?
Yeah, you saw Hawkeye's like freaking big old like piece of land. That's where he's out there.
Take that snow.
But the wife and me were laughing because I'm like, God, this is 2 Christmases in a row that he's had to deal with like getting hurt and beat up, right? Like
I don't even know. Yeah, I'm glad he's okay.
You didn't watch Hawkeye?
He posts fairly often on his social media of him clearing it. He lives in Truckee, Utah. Okay, so yeah, Utah makes sense for the snow. Yeah. Also, it's hilarious to me that he lives basically Hawkeye's life, right? He lives on a farm when he's not with him.
He makes all those residuals from his hot sauce. Anybody? No? Anybody watch Glass Onion? Anybody?
I was gonna say I was like, wait, that was the hot
sauce, right? Jeremy Renner's hot sauce.
He puts no spoilers, I guess. No
spoilers.
When do I get to spoil that one?
No, that was by the way, if anyone watched that or has a chance to go watch Orgasmo. Yeah, well, anything that comes out of the Matt and Trey Parker it comes out of Utah. But no, go check out Glass Onion. That was a great holiday movie to watch. It was fun. I had a lot of fun watching it.
I signed up for a Knives movie thinking I'd get another exactly the same, and instead I got something new and original and really fun to watch.
That was great.
That's pretty much it. With like everybody, I was like, what everybody's in this.
Everyone's in this movie. Yeah. Even like cameos at the beginning, like the first few, like him doing like Zoom calls and whatnot. You had like
ridiculously random. Yes, that's exactly. Yeah, it was great. It was good fun. Solid Netflix film to enjoy at home.
Yeah. So
also Strange World, which I saw. I guess I got bad reviews, but my family really loved it from beginning to end.
That was an interesting one. I haven't watched it, but that was. Everyone was like, it got no advertisements or whatever, and they're right. Like the only advertisement I saw were like random clips between a football game I would see on TV, and I never saw any like advertisements anywhere else. I don't understand like Disney's weird like method of advertising, right? Like a movie like that does bad, but it does bad only because they allow it to do bad, right? Have we not?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was great. It was an original science fiction
animated movie.
It was just from beginning to end. It was just original from beginning to end. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Rolls. Thanks for bringing that one up as well. Yeah, it was snowplows and snowmobiles. So yesterday we had the news that Ken Block died. For anyone familiar who Ken Block is, he is he's a race car driver. He started up. He's one of the founders of Hoonigan. It's a big brand. Early on in the days of like Monster Energy drink and like the drifting scene and like the hooning of cars, I guess is the best way to put it. That's for anyone unfamiliar with the terminology. It's the like, when you sit in a fast car or whatever, and you rev it at the light and you kind of like spin out or whatever, that would be like hooning your car, right? Like you're just being a hoonigan, like a hooligan is what they call it. So he started a brand called Hoonigan. He's real famous rally driver / race car driver. If anyone is familiar with the Gymkhana style films, you can go on YouTube, check out his Gymkhana series. He used to do one a year. They would, big brands would like close up city blocks. One of the big famous ones is he did one in San Francisco where he starts off on the Golden Gate Bridge and races into town. And he's got like a really souped up Ford Fiesta with like 600 and like 800 horsepower, and he's just like drifting around the streets and just doing crazy ass stunts. Or drifting around trolleys and doing jumps with them and just doing crazy stuff. So from my understanding is he passed away in a snowmobile accident doing a stunt. Like from my understanding, so he it's sad. He had just tweeted like 8 hours earlier about his daughter and whatnot, and like he's excited for some new series that he was doing with his daughter about fixing up a car and getting it up and running, and then he was gone. So that sucks. It's awful, right? Like it's one of those things.
Real bummer, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. You're right. So it's kind of like a Jackie Chan. Well, I mean, not jackass because he's not doing really stupid things. It's more like
he's showing off his skills in the vehicle, right?
Yeah. I mean, like if I could pull up something, but the idea here is he was pushing the boundaries of the cars. The styling of his car was always very utilitarian, as in he would take a car like a Ford Fiesta, for example, drop a big engine, but like suspension, everything was tuned. And like, if you saw his setup when he drive, he always had like giant handles and whatnot, because that's what we'd use to like pull the brake. And he was whipping these cars around in ways that you would be like, this is like a video game. Like those physics shouldn't work.
Driver, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
like he's basically a stunt driver.
Yeah. So you'd be it's like watching Fast and the Furious, but all you're doing is the stunts.
Really, I mean, he's famous in Japan. Like he's huge in Japan because of like his style of driving is very Japanese.
I can that I'm here in the U.S. and while Syracuse is deep in the darkness, I never heard of this person. So
no,
I may have seen his stunts. Right, that's the thing, that I might not have made the connection. I may have seen the stunts. So like recently, this season has been exactly. Picture Fast and the Furious, but real life, right? So it's just the stunts, real life. Fast and the Furious is real life though. Well, just for the record, right? Family.
Right. It was he's he was an interesting character. Like he would do things like I'll pull it up real quick. His style of video was like he would take a big video, he'd get this was called Urban Playground, and they would set him up and he'd do crazy things like, here's a little bitty box, and he'd take the car and whip it around
without even touching the sides,
without doing anything, all in one giant take. Just Hot Wheels style, like, and then like they show
the kind of stuff we would do as kids with cars and
and he would just do craziness, like he's about to do his giant jumps in San Francisco.
I'm assuming that's the Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, it's a giant Ford. It's a little Ford Fiesta. He's got fixed.
Wouldn't be able to pick it out of a lineup if you hadn't mentioned it, for the record.
I mean, he does do competition, Dan. I mean, for sure that's what he was doing originally. But then he's a skilled driver, and so like his brand was all about like this style of like driving and pushing the boundaries of cars. I mean, he's so famous. Like these cars that he would design would end up there. You can unlock this car and like his Mustang. It's another car in a lot of the racing games, like Forza Horizons. You can download or unlock Ken Block's cars. They're in the games.
Amazing. Look at this little spins right there. He's barely kissing it. Oh, he didn't actually touch it. Wow.
Yeah. This big. So this whole video is just him like doing stuff like this.
I think it's funny that he rebranded Peeling Out with Peeling Out.
Yeah, Hoonigan. That was his brand. So you can see a sticker on his windshield. He owns the brand. I mean, please, that's right. But I mean, if you ever get a chance, just want to sit down and watch something kind of weird and funky. I mean, anyone familiar? I'm not familiar with the Bay Area, but this is a pretty famous street, like the big zigzag.
Sure. What I really like is that there's no terrible music.
Yeah, no, it's never like there's never any music when he plays. This is all about like the car.
This is so much better. So this is the internet I want to enjoy. That's good stuff. And emo, yeah, it looks like a rally game trailer, like Gran Turismo 8, right? It's just like perfectly tuned for the graphics.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, go check it out. It's a whole series. Gymkhana is what it was
He
called.
even hit it. He managed to break and peel out.
Yeah,
it's because of him that racing car games are too hard for me now. I think is part of
probably. There's Travis Pastrana.
Everyone expects you to drive this way now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, he seemed almost untouchable. He was one of those individuals that was like, Evil Knievel in a way.
Sure.
He's just famous for doing things, but like he was also like so perfect at doing it that no one ever thought he would pass away like this.
Well, I assume, yeah, a snowmobile, right? So he's on the snow, a little bit more dangerous, a little bit less opportunity for control, right? That's a shame.
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah, exactly. His excellence is ruining the curve for us plebes. This is what I'm saying.
Right. No, for sure. For sure. But yeah, go check out his videos if you just want to do a deep dive. Watch. They're usually about 10, 15 minutes a piece. They used to do one a year. And it was always like a giant run is what it was. So like, it was always like an exhibition. Like he would different destinations, different cities. This was San Francisco, one of the most famous ones because it was, here in the US and very dangerous streets to kind of do this kind of stuff. And yeah, so, but yeah, that was a weird death to hear. It just happened in the middle of the afternoon. You just got the news and it was like, yeah, so.
That's wild. I feel like they came fast and furious, and I don't know if it's because I read a lot of obituaries, right? I don't know if the algorithm's just sending me these now, death notices, or if there are in fact a lot of people dying. Right? That's a bummer. I'm glad Jerry Reiner's okay.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. I'm glad he's okay too. I mean, like I said, he tweeted, he was like, just all messed up, like, oh man.
But now I want Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Pine to visit him in their Chris Pine. One of the Chris Evans, go visit him in their costumes, right? That's what they should.
Right.
Avengers visit sick boy in hospital is what they should do next if he's all right.
Right. I mean, it's essentially, here we go. Here's the picture. I can pull it up. Yeah, whatever. Let me in. Let me in.
You for all your information.
Yeah. It's the algorithm, baby. Yeah, how it works.
I mean, DFW, I'm a bad person. I'm back, but I'm still bad. It's not like 2023 has changed me. I just too soon, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so that was his post. Like, I'm allowed to
beat to shit. Holy, oh my god!
Right?
I'm glad he's okay. God damn.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like the headline. I mean, if anyone was following this headline, the headline was literally Jeremy Renner in snowplow accident in critical but stable condition.
That's what I read. Critical but stable. And I'm like, okay.
What does that mean?
It would be bad if he was critical and unstable.
Yeah.
Right? But wouldn't that just be critical? Yeah. No, it's brutal.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's all right.
I'm glad he's all right.
Thumbs up, looking bruised, but back into place.
Oh man! So what? Let's talk about this. You said you got some minis for Christmas. What else did you get? What was the unexpected thing? What was the like?
What was the unexpected thing? That's an interesting question. So no, everything that I wanted I got. So there was nothing unexpected. My brother did get me.
Did you ask for?
My brother, who's a big fan of Legos, of course, and knows I love Doctor Strange, got me the Doctor Strange Lego set, which I very much enjoy. The, I guess, multiverse, is that what this is from?
Yeah.
And then, okay. So Dan asked a very nice question. What was the favorite gift that you gave? So the mansion, the hotel to my child was my favorite gift, and it was a sort of an anniversary size Christmas gift because it was very expensive. I bought my wife a vintage coat that she's been eyeing and wanting probably for 10,000 years, right? Since they first started dropping them. So I got her a very nice vintage coat. My favorite gift, in case you were curious, is this shirt that my wife got me. It is the Dune Spice Guild for those.
I was like, I'm wondering if anyone's going to catch that. I was like,
Dune Spice Guild. For one, she's endured 20 years of me talking about Dune. So for her to go out and buy this shirt, is true love for Christmas.
That is. It's either that or it's
Because I was like, is this a Dune shirt? She's like, yeah, it's the Spice Guild. I'm like, it's the Spice Guild?
it's the Spice Guild? Come here.
What have I done to you? So she used to be cool, but now she's my wife. That's what's happened. Right? I drag people down.
Bravo.
This is my favorite gift by far.
Bravo.
Yeah, I don't even know. I was going to ask, when is it 2023 the new one comes out, or is it 2024? How long do we have to wait for the new movie?
Next year, 2024.
Oh, damn it.
I know. It's, from my understanding, it's done. They're done filming it. So that's the big thing, and now they're just post and whatever else.
Man. Yeah, too damn long. I mean, the world's not coming around.
But too damn long to between movies? Yeah, I think
so. Too long to wait. The world might not be around in 2024.
What's interesting with that is again, this, without me going into like deep Warner Brothers rant. Warner Brothers released that movie. It was supposed to come out before COVID or right in the summer of COVID, and then COVID happened, and then like there was a lot of like, how are we need to make our return off of this movie. They released it on HBO Max. There was no movie theater run. They were very cautious about allocating the budget for a sequel for a movie that was unproven. It did make its money back. Not only that, it was very highly reviewed. So because of that, they greenlit it, but they greenlit it after. This wasn't one of those like, hey, we've greenlit 3 movies right up front. They greenlit the first one. And then so because of that, a lot of the actors had already things planned. They probably told them, hey, we're going to greenlit. If this gets greenlit at the end of this movie, please set this time frame open. Don't sign up for anything. Don't jump on any projects. You
gotta go out and get jobs, right?
Right, but at the same time, they're like, we can't tell you not to because you haven't been given the green light yet. So it's one of those scenarios where you had all these actors, and if you remember the cast of that movie, it's like every big name actor right now.
They're all busy.
They're all busy. Like, I mean, Oscar Isaacs is in everything. Freaking Chalamet is in everything. Zendaya is in everything. Momoa is in everything. You get like Josh Brolin is in everything. So all these individuals are like in every movie out there right now. You can't stop them from working. They're going to hop onto the next project.
Patrick Stewart's in everything.
Everything. Yes, he is. Sting is in everything. Oh man.
So Dan says Dune 2 November 2023. So I mean, I'm gonna hold you to that, Dan, come November, and I'm gonna.
I hope so. I heard it was 2024. They had pushed it to early 2024. If they moved it up to 2023, I'm excited. I'm excited. If
the next holiday season, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be fantastic. I can't wait for it.
I'd be surprised if they don't make a Moon Knight 2, Dan. But
Dan, this is Marvel, baby. Like they
also Disney, and we've got the new guy in charge, and I don't know. We'll see what's happening. I'm gift wise. I got gift cards. I got gift cards from family members. The wife got me she got me some great gifts. I mean, they're just, but this year I really liked the giving this year. This year I was like it was all about the giving and the giving and the giving. The wife needed a new backpack. I got her a trendy one. I went all trendy on her and got her a Herschel. That's a brand. Everyone was telling me that's the brand for backpacks. That's the brand for backpacks. And so I was like, that's the brand for backpacks.
That's all. This Herschel, and today was her first day back at work, and she had it on, and apparently a coworker immediately saw it and was like, oh, and I was like, I told you. I was like, I told you. I got you. Wanted to, but the kiddos needed a refresh on their tech. So the big money this year for me was, and I got 2 kids that are into the exact same thing, and you can't buy one, so you got to. The budget is allocating for 2, so it was 2 new iPads, 2 new Bluetooth headphones. I got them. I got one of them only a Apple Pencil because he's into drawing. I mean, like deep into drawing as of late. He's also been like doing a little fun little coding game design games, so like he's been building stuff with it. What else? I got them like new bug out bags, right? So one of my things is because they were always carrying around their stuff, I I got them a bag for their headphones and their iPads and all their stuff. I got them matching Xbox controllers so that they can pair them with their Xbox, or they can pair it with their iPad so that if they're out and about, they can.
And now it's their sticky controllers, so
it's
they don't have
their Xbox controller.
touching daddy's controllers. I can see what
right,
you're doing.
Right. So I just basically just gave them. So as soon as they unwrapped all of that, I mean, it was like
crickets, right?
Crickets. It was like that's it. They were gone. I didn't hear from them.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. The new Apple Pencil 2. Yeah. No. What I did is so I bought their iPads because again it was a big expense. I bought their iPads right at the announcement of the new iPad. So September is when they did the big event. And what I did is I was waiting. I was like, are they going to release a new entry level iPad or not? And they did, and I didn't like it. And that's a whole other conversation. The new iPad is just a mess of a release. So I bought the previous version, the ninth gen. So the ninth gen uses the old Apple Pencil.
That's what Romy got for her from grandma. That's what Romy got for Christmas.
The ninth gen iPad is perfect. It does the job. It supports the Apple Pencil and the Apple Pencil 1. And so I just before Christmas, I hopped on eBay, found an Apple Pencil 1, used. I guess I paid like $45 for it, and it was way cheaper than yeah, Emu, but I worked for them for 11 years. So like
hypocritical company is a redundant
an oxymoron,
right? No, not an oxymoron. It's redundant, right? It's
redundant.
The same twice. Yeah. A big shrimp is oxymoron, right? That's jumbo shrimp is an oxymoron.
Jumbo shrimp. That's right.
Honest company might be an oxymoron at this point, right?
Yeah.
Big time redundant. There you go.
But the big gift, the gift that was, I guess, for me and the boys, and this kind of leads me up to this next topic, just so I can end the show on this one, was we were talking about social media and how I had to do the dive into forums. So kind of wrap it up around.
Yeah, bring it back to forums.
So the big gift this year was I bought a digital pinball game, a digital pinball cabinet. So that was the big build this year. It was I didn't develop. We went to my in-laws for Christmas, and so when they got back, the box was already in the house. And it was a big. So At Games, if you're familiar with the company at Games, they make a series of like arcade machines and pinball machines called At Game. Their Legends series. It is a little higher quality than like the arcade 1-up crap. They're bigger machines, better buttons. They also kind of support the modding, as in like they sell parts for it. They're like, here's control panel and buttons, and here's like electronics for the inside, and here's what you can and can't do.
I dig it.
Here's a HDMI plug on the cabinet so you can plug up your own computer or whatever and emulate and do whatever the case may be. It's interesting. They were a company that were kind of trash, and now they make this line of products, and it's pretty good. So I'd been eyeing it for a while, got it on sale. Not only did it get on sale, it went on sale again after I had bought it, and they did a price adjustment and gave me a big old hunk of refund back.
Nice.
So it was nice. So when I got home, I unwrapped it and built it. And the idea was never just to keep it stock, right? That's never the case with me. What's nice about these cabinets, or this digital pinball cabinet, and if you haven't seen what this looks like, I'll bring it up here. But it's virtual pinball. It's a giant TV with pinball games on it.
Okay. I mean, I played some virtual pinballs on the Xbox, for example, with the controller. That's the concept?
Yeah, it's the only difference is it's an actual pinball machine, right? So like when you look at it, it looks like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
well,
so
it's all virtual on the inside.
Yeah. So when you look at the screen, it is in.
I see. It's a long format. I go, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you pull it up, when you choose a game, the entire table shows up. The back glass shows up and gives you the score, and there's haptics as well. So you hit the buttons and the machine shakes, and it's got all sorts of like fun features. And but what? Again, I'm saying this because it comes with built-in games. It comes with 22 built-in tables. Great. A lot of old tables you've probably never heard of. But what's also interesting is this machine is literally designed as well for like computer use. Like you plug up a computer, you can do all sorts of other stuff. And what I had to figure out is I had always been wanting to jump into this hobby, but it was one of those scenarios where it's like, I didn't want to have to build one. And since this machine is probably already built, like it's got the TV screen and everything, all the buttons are ready to go. I don't have to really build something. Virtual pinball is a community, and it is wild. It is absolutely wild. Let me just kind of explain for for people out there.
You've joined the virtual pinball community, Joe?
Yeah. So here's the thing. So pinball, right, is already kind of a big community. Like people buy these machines, and these machines are expensive. They are they're old, they're vintage. Pinball's been around since the 60s, 50s. There are old machines, and they only get more expensive as they get older. And these machines also are mechanical.
Yep.
There's solenoids and relays and bulbs and very specific parts that are out of print, out of date, no longer made. So these machines are very fragile. If you were to buy maybe even a modern machine, like right now, if you were to buy like a Mandalorian pinball machine that just came out, one of the big ones that came out this past year, that machine's like $10K.
Yeah,
it's inexpensive, and it's made by a company called Stern, and yes, you can buy parts and whatever, build it. But the feeling of pinball, like if you want to just play pinball, that's the only way to play it, is these mechanical machines, these behemoth machines.
I love it. There's a Syracuse Pinheads here. It's like a 20-minute drive.
They're great. They're fantastic to play.
Pin machines and all that good stuff.
Virtual pinball, I kid you not, has been around 10, 15 years now. And it's essentially what these people have done is they've mathematically, algorithmically mapped out pinball machines, digitally preserving the entire build of these old machines onward, and then they throw it into a physics engine and play the game digitally.
Sure. Okay.
Getting all the physics of every bumper down, every light, every sound. They'll record the sound of like old tables, new tables, and then they
as close to real and with fidelity as they can get.
As fidelity as they can get. And you open up these like tables and these like makers, and you see like all these like scripts and mathematical equations and all that kind of stuff. It's just a mess. And when you have to put this, you have to think about this community as this started off with one program, which then someone wrote another program, which then someone wrote another program, and all of it talks to each other, but it's not all made by one maker. And it is like, and it all sits on old forums.
Love it.
Like VP Universe, VP Pin.
Well, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. Come on.
No, they're not leaving. That's the thing, right? The pinheads and pinball, and then they also there's people that make tables by recreating tables that exist in the physical world, or then there's people that take tables and make fantasy tables, right? They take tables and then they modify them and make a table that doesn't exist or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's like all sorts of like weird morality. Like some people are like, oh, you're pirating a table made, but you don't want to make a table that just came out, so you can't make that one, or vice versa. And there's like back and forth. It's the same conversation you get with like ROMs.
Yeah, or algorithmically generated art, right? There's that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a mess. Couple questions. How much is and did you buy parts from that guy? Yes, I did buy parts from that guy. That was for the machine, for the build to power the virtual pinball machine. And the machine by retail, and I kid you not, so on their website, I'm going to pull it up on their website, is not the price. So right now it says $7.99. That is not the price. So Sam's Club, one of the big warehouse stores here in the US, was selling it for like $5.99. So a big chunk of change minus. And again, you have to think about what you're getting here. First off, it is not a tiny table. It is a 32-inch TV,
right,
in a wooden cabinet, with another 15-inch monitor on the back, with speakers and sounds and metal tables and metal buttons and all that kind of stuff. So it is not cheap built in any way. As a matter of fact, it's one like the legs are pinball legs. You can actually strap on like the legs of a modern table to make it even taller if you wanted to. Like it's pretty well built. And for that, if you piece out like building the cabinet, getting the screens, getting all of that, it would cost you more than $500 to $600.
Right.
I didn't want to pay that much, so I got it on sale. Then like December 19th or whatever, they dropped it. The Sam's dropped it down to like $350.
Oh my gosh.
So then I went back and did a chat on the 26th of December. and was like, hey, is this price now? And they're like, yeah, sure, you're a member. Here you go. And they refunded me back a big chunk of change. And then I got back into town, and people were posting pictures because of the holidays. The physical in store had dropped the price to $239.
Oh my gosh.
So people were posting the picture, and I hopped back into chat and was like, hey, my local store has it for this. Here's a picture. And they're like, okay. And they refunded me back a big chunk of change again. So $230. I mean, that's less than you would pay for the TV that's in the thing.
It barely pays for the labor. Isn't that great?
Yeah, right. Like it's insane. And I got it delivered. So it was like next day delivery. So it was a complete steal. Absolute steal.
Giant pinball machine stolen by Joe. That's how we're going to end the show here, right?
Yeah. So again, I'm gonna just.
So wait. Honest question, right? Because I guess I'm a little bit of a pinball purist. I wouldn't say I'm good at pinball, but if it doesn't clang and clunk and feel physical, I can't. It doesn't.
So you're right.
Be allowed to call it a pinball machine,
right? So this is interesting. Again, the Pinball Legends machine, when you get it, does have haptic feedback. There is haptics in the machine. There's even like accelerometers. Check it out. There's accelerometers in there that if you can shake it to give you what. If you're familiar with pinball, you can do tilt, or you can do.
Yeah, you got to tilt.
To nudge. Nudging is a thing.
Little love tap.
You have to, because the ball drains. If you're familiar with the terminology, there is a spot on the board that the ball will come right down the center, and you cannot hit it. The whole purpose of it is you're supposed to nudge the machine, kind of hit it and get it to move the ball just enough to be able to hit it with the flipper,
but not tilt it, because
there is a mechanism. It's called a plumb. It's a mechanical sensor that's in it. If you hit it too much, it'll flip, and then the machine locks up, and you can't use the flippers, and it'll say
ball
tilt,
drops,
and the ball drops.
Yep. What a thrill! Oh.
So this machine has very basic haptics, and it feels good for the price. But again, deep diving into the community, and you go through, holy crap! So I got some gift cards, and that's what I spent my gift cards on, is doing some mild upgrades. And the upgrades are, I added 2 internal bass shakers. So there are 2 bass shakers that are attached to the bottom that basically are just subwoofers, and then 4 speakers, or what's called exciters. So they're not speakers per se, they are speakers, but they attach to the side of the wood, and they use the body of the cabinet as the speaker. Mm-hmm. So Virtual Pinball supports 7.1 surround, and what that does is the back speakers, think of it like you're sitting in a movie theater. The back speakers are the ones right by the flippers, and the front speakers are the ones in the box. And with all of that working in tandem and tuned just right, which I've got it done on mine now, you can feel the ball rolling in the cabinet. When you hit the flipper, the entire bass shaker flips it, and it feels like a mechanical solenoid actually flipping. It is wild how tuned these tables are.
So all right.
It feels like there's a physical ball rolling around.
I love it. But if you build the perfect racing chair,
right,
and you sit in front of your monitor and race the perfect race, are you driving a race car?
No.
Right? So no matter how many haptics are there, there's still something, right, about
100% agree. And the problem, and again, but this goes back to, and that's a good analogy, because race cars are expensive. Yeah. Race cars are physical, and you can only have one, right? Or you can have more, but they're even more expensive, right? And pinball heads, or pinball players, and the ones that actually collect machines have years and years of investment in the hobby. You can go down that route and go physical, or if you just want the fix, which is what a lot of hobbyists do, they build a racing sim.
Play on tables you could never afford to play on. I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the closest you can get without having to spend $10,000 per table,
or going to your local pinball place.
Right. But what it does, it allows you to kind of sit down and play 30, 40, 50 tables, however many you add on this computer, 1,000 tables if you want. Even some virtual ones that don't exist. Like a good one is if you've played Pinball FX3 on your Xbox.
Sure.
If you download the Steam version, there is a cabinet mode on there. You click on a button and it turns it into cabinet mode, and you have to send a code to the developers. Take a picture of your virtual cabinet, which I had to do, And then the support gives you a code back because they want you. They're like, okay, this is a home use. You're not going to put this in a cabinet in a pinball parlor and make money off of it. But then it puts the Pinball FX game into portrait mode and like gives you all of that. Like it's made for virtual pinball. So all of those tables work. And some of those are fantasy tables. Like for example, I was playing the Doom table, the Bethesda tables that are in that. And they play fantastic, but they're tables that don't exist in real life, right?
Why not?
They should, but it's like a giant cyber demon, like sitting there, like swatting the ball. It's absolutely great. But so that's the other side of the virtual pinball is you're not just playing real tables.
I leave for a month and you find yourself another hobby.
Oh, God. Well, it was inevitable because with the arcade room, pinball was one of the last things. Like I wanted a pinball machine, but I didn't want to buy one pinball machine, but I also wanted
all the pinball
machines. All the pinball machines for sure. It's wild. It is.
I love it. It's fantastic. That's good stuff, dude. That's
yeah.
Good
let me. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna play this video real quick for you guys. But it's 100% hobby. What's nice about it is the virtual side. You can even pick up what's called like a little virtual, like a mini virtual pinball machine, like just a little desktop one that's like the size of a tablet, and you can buy those pre-built for 100 or so.
A lot of rubber bands and cardboard.
Yeah. But you can even add little haptics and whatnot, and play some of your favorite tables that way. It just excels. Like you see people building these machines, and they're like 100% all the pinball parts on the inside minus the actual play. They'll add actual solenoids, so when they hit the button, they click, 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 click. You hear all the buttons. Yeah, it's wild for sure.
I believe it. I believe that folks will go to extreme lengths for their hobby.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is a great hobby. And again, for the virtual side, it allows me to have more than one table. That was kind of
I get it.
And also,
because how are you going to take advantage of the pinball virtual sales if you don't have space to put all your pinball virtual games on them? Right.
Right. One of the other things is, and again, this goes back. My kiddo, my oldest, when we go to a lot of the arcades, while he likes playing a lot of the arcade games, one of the things that he kind of I lose him in the room. I'll come back is he's sitting there in front of a pinball machine for like an hour or two.
That's the best.
Yeah, he'll just sit there and play pinball for hours and hours on end, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's what you like.
Love it.
That's what you like.
Yeah, no, it's smart, affordable way to play it. Like if you're looking for variety, this sounds like the best way to do it once you get the machine tuned haptically to what you're going for.
Yeah, it is
mastery of a mechanical table. Obviously, you need one table, and you master it. And then you invite your friends over and you laugh at them because they don't know how to play on that.
Right. That's the hobby is so freaking like weird that people have gotten it to where you can add a Xbox Kinect to the top, and when you turn it on, it immediately puts depth of field on the screen, so it tracks your face. So when you're playing it and you move your head, it moves the table so that you're looking down the side of it.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Let me show
I'm glad someone found a use for the Kinect.
Right. That's exactly it. That's so here's my kiddo. He was playing the Ninja Turtle table.
He's got to get his body into it. Come on. Now, do you then get to like how you say? What's the word I want to say? Are people playing around? Because with a virtual pinball machine with haptics, you can now play around with like total fantasy elements. The ball moves weird.
Yeah.
You can have water elements or fire elements or some sort of way to change, right? You can. Do folks do that? Is that appreciated?
Yeah. So with a lot of the fantasy tables, you can do that. The fantasy tables you can control physics. There, let's say for like a good example is there's this one table that was added by this dude. It's a Sonic pinball table that doesn't exist, but he made the entire table from scratch or whatever, added great physics. And because it's a Sonic game, there are power-ups, and one of them is like invincibility, and when you turn on the ball glows, and then there's like video game elements within the game.
You're still getting the haptics there. Like I'm imagining,
you're
like
still getting all the physical.
Now you're on a different table all of a sudden, right? Like you can really go nuts with.
Yeah, there's like water sections, and then like when the ball sits there, you'll hear the whoop whoop. Like he needs air, It's great. It's absolutely nuts.
That's
And
fun. Then I can get behind this, right? With the haptics and the you can do crazy things with the fantasy table. That's what they call them, fantasy tables.
Yeah, they're called fantasy tables. So when you start looking, there's like reproduction real tables, and then there's fantasy tables where there is no physical real version of this table. The table is all fantasy. It's all made up.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely wild. It is again, you go down a rabbit hole on it, but it's been fun to build, and it's up. It's in my arcade room now. It was in here. I had it in here, and then it's now in there, and I've got all the haptics, and now I'm just adding tables.
Yeah,
I'm slowly adding fun tables that the kiddos can play.
I've got 10,000 tables, and I've played 15 of them.
Actually, I do have a big folder of like 1,000 tables, but I haven't added them all. I've only been adding them one at a time, and I tune it properly. And so, like, I added a fantasy real table. So they took the Stranger Things table, and then they added mods to it. And the Stranger Things. Oh, there is a RoboCop table.
Just add that RoboCop table.
I will. There is the Stranger Things table. Then they updated the table fantasy wise to season 4. So then there's like a giant Vecna that sits in the background.
Oh my gosh.
And they added like whole new music, all the music from season 4. And so the table's exactly the same as the original, but the colors are different. There's new outcomes, all the sound clips and the videos that play on the backboard are from season 4, that sort of thing.
That's so awesome. I'm with you, dude. That's pretty awesome.
It's really cool. And like I said, I was very skeptical about like the feel, but once you get those like tuned and get like very minimal upgrade, I think I paid, it was like $15 for a pair of the exciters. And then like,
so you took all the money that Sans Club gave you back and you invested it into the machine.
Yeah, I invested it back to give it a little bit back into the machine. And yeah, it's been awesome. It's great. It's fun. So it's not for everyone for sure. But what I will say is that particular table, that At Games Legends table, if you can find it on sale, is a great jumping point. Because even if you don't want to invest any money into it, it's got 22 tables built into it, and it gives you that.
And it's got pretty good haptics that you can improve upon if you were.
Yeah, and it's a good foundational piece. It's like buying a starter car, and then like if you wanted to add stuff to it.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So. Man. There we go. Follow me. I'll be posting a lot of pictures of the project. I took a lot of pictures while I was doing the upgrades and the whatever. I mean, from that video that you saw, I added a bigger monitor up to it, which is the
bigger.
Yeah. So I added so it comes with that one screen, and even like I said, At Games sells the board to make that screen an HDMI monitor. Like that's what's cool. The company sells you that board, and then I added a third. So there's 3 screens. It's the one big play screen, the back box, which is the big logo screen,
sure.
And then the middle screen is called the DMD, or what stands for dot matrix display, because it used to be the little dot matrix screen, and that one is the middle screen. So all of that works in tandem.
So you looked at your 2 screens and you said, "What I need is a third screen."
I need a third screen, absolutely. You can do that, and then again, the virtual you can add haptics. You can add RGB LEDs all through it, and all of it works in tandem with the game, where they'll light up depending on what region of the board you're on. If you go into like hyper mode.
2-player online virtual pinball. I play in my house, you play in your house, and we go head to head.
There are tables that support stuff like that, where you can link them. You sit on the same leaderboard, and so it'll show your score versus my score.
Yeah, see, that's what I want. I want to come down into my basement, look at my virtual pinball machine, and be like, Joe cannot possibly be number one in my house.
FX. So Pinball FX3 adds that. So like you have your friend list, and your friend list shows that table,
I remember that.
and shows you that. So then you would beat each other's table, and of course, once you have that in a cabinet, at that point you're playing in an actual cabinet. It's crazy. Again, pinball is one of those things that I've always liked, but.
I never got good at it. I really enjoyed it. I like the concept of it. I love the feel of those, like the machines.
That's what it was.
With my hips and moving around, like it's good fun. And like when you watch someone who's good at it, you're like, oh my god, they make it look so easy, right? Like when they're good at it and they're into it, it's pretty sweet.
Dan, and here's the interesting part. You mentioned that load. They're all free, and they're not illegal.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. So some tables that are old tables, do have MAME ROMs. And what I mean that is they have dumped the logic from those tables, and then you can use the MAME ROMs and dump them into vpin MAME is what it's called. So you dump them into that folder, and then you download the virtual tables that use that ROM as it. But many of the new tables don't use a ROM. Like they don't need it. So it's interesting. Some do, some don't. Like for example, that Ninja Turtle one that you saw, that one does use a MAME ROM because it's using the original sound and logic from the original Ninja Turtles table, that 1991 Data East pinball.
Sure.
But if you looked at the video, that table that I was playing was a modded version of that table. There's new green lights and like new feel, and the pizza spins a specific way. So it's using that foundation of the old, but they've improved the table by adding modern things. So it's cool because you're still, like I said, you play original tables or fantasy, or a lot of the original ones have been modified to be given like this like virtual feel.
That's hilarious.
It's so fun. It's like a crazy.
Our pirates are extremely disappointed that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yar, indeed. It's gray area, but not even like murky white gray, because like there's no one. These MAME ROMs who. How do you enforce that? These are physical machines. It's not like a company can like go, oh well, we own. No, actually they don't. A lot of these companies are defunct. They don't own anything anymore. Yeah. There's no one anywhere that
might own the rights to RoboCop or the Mandalorian image on the screen, but they might not.
Yeah, like the modern tables, like the Stern table and everything from like 2010 and onward for these new tables. Yeah, those are super gray area because those don't use the original ROM. So a lot of those modern tables, people just recreate from scratch. So they'll say Stern inspired. And what that means is essentially what someone does is they own the table and they've taken pictures and they've basically recreated it.
Yeah. But they've drawn a beautiful picture to play on.
Right. They've reverse engineered it. So that's legal. And those tables are free. You just go to a forum and download a file, drop it.
Because the minute you start charging for it, they might get into trouble. But
right. And so they don't charge for it.
Yeah. There you go. That's pretty cool. See, now no.
It's fun. Like, again, go check it out. It's again, you can look at mini tables, things that like sit on your desk that give you can run all the same tables. I'm running on a big one, and they only get bigger. That one's a 32. People build one with like 43-inch TVs, 4K, like really high definition. So like running like 144 frames a second. So like the ball is
better than Avatar.
It's like smooth liquid. Like when you're playing at the ball, like it fools you. That's how like using OLED screens and just nuts. Yeah, lots of place for improvement. Great fun hobby. Go check it out. That's where I dumped the last 2 weeks after Christmas. So
that's good. I love it.
About the social media plugs.
Yes, he's getting too interested. Is 32 the sweet pot? I found 27 was a little big for take games.
So yeah, 32 inches great for pinball. It's great. Again, just last plug. That particular cabinet. One of the add-ons that At Game sells is you can replace that bottom row where it says Legend Pinball. If you were to look at the screen, they sell a control panel that you basically remove it and it comes with an arcade stick and 6 buttons. So then again, At Games has its own menus to load your own ROMs. And then you play, like I loaded a bunch of my Tate games, my Tate games.
Vertical games. Do this, right? That's
so. But what's interesting is, again, it's built into the table. Like the maker of the table gives you the option to drop those games.
They know what you're doing. They know what you're doing.
Yeah, they know what you're doing. So 32-inch is big, but what's nice is it gives you the marquee at the top, and then like another like apron at the bottom, so the game sits in 4x3 right in the middle. Nice and big, beautiful like vertical shooter. So
that's good. Love it.
Yeah. So go check them out. It's a fun little thing if you ever look into it. That's what I'm into right now. Go check us out on the Discord. I'll be posting pictures of the project.
The year of pinball, everybody. Strap in.
Please tell Pedro to post some pictures about his minis. All the stuff that he's painting right now. Go into the project section. Post some of them.
Actually, I uninstalled the camera app.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I like Joe's face because he's like, wait, you can't do that.
No, I know you can. It's an iPhone. You could just remove it. Yeah, you totally can.
Yes.
But no, again, the Discord, please go hop in there. Just start a topic. We'll chat. We'll talk. It'll allow us to keep the community going between the episodes. we'll be back next week for sure.
Tag us. That's the simplest way to get us to respond. Just tag us. See that notification come
for sure. And again, tell us what you want. Like, we're at episode 200, but we got to keep these things fresh. There's definitely some videos going up. I had mentioned that I had some videos already filmed for end of the year. I didn't get a chance to finish editing them, but I do have them. They are talking about my picks of the year, my favorite gadgets and gizmos and whatever. Also, cover your ears, Pedro. Follow me on Twitter, mid_geek crisis. I post a lot of the stuff there. And again, follow us on YouTube, on Twitch. Go check us out. That sort of thing. But yeah, that's it, guys.
Thanks for coming back, everybody. Rolls, DFW, Emu. I think I saw Grosh and a go. Dan Camp. Thanks, everyone. Good friends, good times.
Yep. And I appreciate everyone for coming back. We're 200 episodes in. Hopefully, we do this for a little bit longer.
It's gonna be great.
Yep. There we go. There's the link right there. Go check us out. Another episode in the can, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Be kind.